Nightwing number 20, Tim Seeley writing, Javier Fernandez on art. So this is the conclusion to the Nightwing Must Die arc. We're down in the tombs, and Damien's been held captive. It looked like he'd been stabbed. Well, it turns out he had been stabbed, but Damien can move his organs out of the way, so he's not
the fatal. Most Damien resolution.
Yeah.
To
you can do that. I'm the heir to Batman. Of course I can do that.
He has a because Damien.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's basically because Batman. Yeah. It's because son of Batman. Is basically the response.
But see, I give Damien more leeway with that because he is such a little shit. Like, it makes sense. He goes, because I'm the son of Batman, that's why.
Yeah, when he says it's his dickish, arrogant way.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, and because Batman would very rarely actually ever say because Batman, but Damien would say it every 2 days. Like, every 10 minutes he's firing that sentence off.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I love that. When I got to that part in the issue, I was just like, oh, of course. Because I thought it was going to be a decoy. Like, I didn't think that was actually the real Damien. Because we'd seen... in the last issue, we had seen Dick walk down that corridor with all the different versions of himself. So I thought, well, it's not outside the realm of possibility that this is just another imposter.
Yeah. So. I love that Damien's first words when he wakes up are just, Grayson, you're an idiot.
That's really good. Obviously, this issue actually gave me a lot of feels for the Grayson and Damien pairing. The ending, of course... Because Dick spends a lot of time in this issue in a sort of daze. He's sort of hallucinating and having this like he thinks he's Deathwing and he's fighting stuff, and then he fights like a Nightwing that's got like a motorbike helmet on, and when it turns out that it's actually Damien under the bike, as if Damien has inherited the Nightwing mantle instead of the Batman mantle, and it's this realization that, and I really like this actually, that the mantle of Robin's his to pass on, not Batman's. It's a really cool little touch.
I like that exchange there where he was like, when they first teamed up, he said, someday you'll probably be Batman. Like, that's your mantle. But Robin, that's my thing to give you.
Yeah. And
you're going to have to earn it. And I love that we've seen throughout here that, Damien has earned it. I mean, he's a prick, but,
But
that shouldn't disqualify him. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I think I've had this before, but I really noticed it in this time in the art with Deathwing. It's particularly as a page where he's at the top, there's a panel of him like sort of opening his mouth and smiling, but there's bits of the skin of the face like still connected in front of the mouth. It's just super creepy. I like it. I like it. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And Sean tries to like comfort him and like, oh no, it wasn't you. Like you've been mistreated. And Deathwing's, I tried to like fix a broken Nightwing, but the Nightwing fixed a broken me. Like we kind of get the sense that he was really disturbed even before all this happened. Like he was.
Yeah, because he sought out. I almost said sucked out. That's a terrible grammar. But he sought out Professor Pig and Dr. Hurt to have this done to himself.
Yeah.
So I hope this isn't the last we get of that type of story. Like, hope there's some bigger things going on here.
Speaking of like the art, going back to the art again, I really like that when we're in like the hallucinations, the panels are all kind of wavy. There's like a sort of flowing. It's almost like a liquid kind of. Oh, actually, because it's the black and the outside, it almost feels like oil. Like it's like the images are appearing in oil as it's going through this fight.
Yeah.
So you know it's the hallucination compared to the real world, where it's actually the regular boxes.
And then you have that full page where all the colours and it's all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's fantastic.
So it does a really good job of making it clear what is the real world and what is just inside Dick's head, and that's really fun. And obviously they fight back, Simon Hart, and when they leave, the whole place, like obviously Deathwing stabs Simon with the knife, and it's like sends him back to whatever hell he came from, and they basically leave a giant Nightwing logo shaped crater in the desert, which is pretty badass if I do say so myself.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I guess that's because he was like trying to like use Nightwing as a sacrifice, so it was his symbol that became this whole like. So it's pretty cool. Obviously, the big stuff at the end, though, which gave me lots of feels, is that Sean's not pregnant. She had another test. She's not pregnant.
Oh man!
And she has to. She's like, Dick, I need you to leave me alone for a little while. I need to like be with myself and paint. Like that's her therapy, is her painting. And I actually really love that panel at the bottom of that page, where it's like her, and she shuts her eyes and she sees like all the horrors that she's just experienced. She sees Pegs, she sees the Voltrons, and it's like she has to paint this. She has to get it out of her system in her way, and I really like that.
Do you know what is really bad? Like, I'm not entirely sure if it was just a false positive, or did she lose it going through all this?
Yeah.
And the thing is that she won't know either, and that's probably what makes it worse.
Yeah. I just
Man, thanks for bumming me out. Sorry,
had you guys not looked at it that way?
I hadn't thought about it that way. No, and now you've.
Oh, sorry.
Now you've dragged the mood down. Luckily, the final couple of pages of this book was probably the most sort of like happy, kind of teary-eyed I've gotten this week, where basically Damien's like, yeah, it was kind of an excuse just to come see you because I missed you. And he's like, yeah, don't you breathe a word of this to anyone, Grayson, or I will like give you all kinds of hellfire.
Well, actually, no. The one that I really liked about that is at the end. He says, when he's like, "Tell anyone, I'll rain 1,000 hells upon you," and he says Richard, not Grayson.
Yeah, that's true. Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And I thought it was a really nice touch.
That's a very, very specific little touch because he always says Grayson and he calls him Richard instead. And they get a call like, oh, just because Damien's going back to the Teen Titans, he's going to go and do his thing. Oh. And they get a call, so something's been broken into the bank or whatever, and he's like, oh, you got time for one last little thing before we go? And he's like, oh, the heir to the mantle of the Batman and the original Robin are coming for them, and it's just like this bonding between them that's really cool. And then the final line of the comic is, we are still the greatest, and it's just like, oh man, just make him a permanent cast member of this book, or give me Nightwing and Robin. I don't care which, but give me it.
Yeah, because like Nightwing says to him there, it's like, hey, when Bruce came back, I was thinking maybe you should stay with me and be my partner, not his.
Yeah.
And
I want it.
If only.
I want it so much. They are so good together. I want Dick and Damien. And at least, even if we don't get a book, I feel like this sets up that relationship's there. And every so often we'll get this. We'll get one of them in the other book. Obviously we'll get Lazarus. Oh, not Lazarus. Lazarus. In my head I was like, Lazarus, Judas, which one is it? Which one was first? Lazarus contract. We're getting that next, so obviously they'll both be involved in that, so maybe we'll get a little bit of the relationship there, but I love them together, and this arc just solidified it. No, this relationship is intact, they have this connection, and this should be a big thing. Whenever they do get to interact with each other, it'll be there, and that's good. I'm glad they've really established that. So.
Yeah, it is the best relationship in the DCU for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to really think about that if I was going to call it the best. I'd have to really think about all the other like books and couples and teams, and it's up there. It's definitely up there. Don't get me wrong, but I'd have to really think about it.
That's fair.
But yeah, because Jessica and her ring might be is getting up there as well now.
That is pretty good too.
That is not bad. Yeah.
But no, Nightwing was another great issue. I was going to say if it was the best one of the arc. I really can't remember. There was so many good ones throughout this arc.
But I would definitely say it's my favourite arc so far.
Oh yeah, I'd agree with that. I think they have progressively gotten better in Nightwing.
Yeah, and I can't wait for whatever's next.
I like Bloodhaven more than the Raptor stuff, and I like this more than the first Bloodhaven stuff. So, yeah, bring it on. I think we're getting to some classic Nightwing stuff next, actually, if I remember right. Blockbuster's showing up.
Sweet.